The appearance of having achieved something is alluring to women. Men who played it cool and pretended they weren't interested in women while mortgaging their futures to buy luxury are rewarded with it. This is on top of the success they already had. In the most populous city in Canada, I have access to the most desirable women. They are creating the impression that they are successful, similar to how an unattractive woman can create the impression that she is beautiful by getting a nose job, a new job, and having professional makeup applied. It's all about giving off the impression that you're higher up in the dominance hierarchy and in the sexual marketplace than you actually are as a man. You certainly have the ability to dominate and exercise authority over women. If you treat women badly like a jerk, they will respond in kind because that is how they would respond if they were in her position. If she were in your position, she would. Let me elaborate. In addition to this, women are drawn to men who exude a sense of self-assurance. If you approach a woman who is more valuable in the marketplace than you are, she will call you names, make fun of you, and insult you when she realizes the situation. How dare you try to hit on me when you're not attractive enough or wealthy enough? Just being in your presence is often enough to bring a woman's status down, let alone trying to hit on her. Therefore, she brings shame upon you, belittles you, and makes you feel as though you are inadequate. As a result, you will feel humiliated and lower your head. Both. Therefore, when you treat her as if she were worthless in the same manner, she believes that you somehow have more value in the hierarchy than she does because that is how she would act. If she were in your position, she would find it flattering when people talk down to her because it demonstrates to her that you are more valuable than they are. If you didn't have this advantage, you wouldn't be able to get away with treating her in such a condescending manner because some of the main giants are white knights. I would put you in your place if there were any other men present to put an end to your pageantry, but there aren't any. She has bought into the hype. I remember when I was in my teens and 20s, I would talk up my existing accomplishments and discuss all the things I was yet to do in life to make it sound as though I was going places, which is something that women love. I would do this so that I could attract women. When you talk about yourself and the things that drive you, because once again, that's something that they would be doing if they were in your position. They will therefore stop what they are doing in order to go after you if you have a large ego and some flash, or even a small amount of success. I'd even been with a few different women. They forced me to sit in the, and when I started getting things done, they started trying to seduce me and invite me over to their place. However, I was able to recognize their deception for what it was. When I was younger, I remember that there were actually some women who went completely insane. They went to great lengths to demonstrate their enthusiasm and ensure that I was aware of it. Some people would literally grab me and start kissing or groping me against my will. Others would grow me. I had the distinct impression that Harvey Weinstein counted me among his victims. Some of them went to any lengths to get their words into my ear by any means necessary. One of my philosophy students even brought a racy issue of Playboy magazine to class to set the mood and show that she was willing to pose for my one-eyed camera. If you get what I'm trying to say, if I were a man and I pursued women in such a manner, the only way I could actually get away with it is if I was wealthy and famous before the year 2016. Which is the time before the allegation gate was being held or meeting. This is the only way I could actually get away with it. If you choose to disregard women and focus on the success of your own endeavors, you will become a target for other women who want to feel superior to you in any way they can. As if you were a tribble, with the exception of when ugly women do it, which the majority of them are, there is still some time before she starts treating you like a triple. If I pursued a woman in such a manner, I would be severely beaten by a band of wandering white knights, and a man joins us. It's almost as if you ignore women or don't pay attention to them, they'll just leave on their own. They commit suicide by jumping off a cliff and landing on you while they are falling from a great height. Either you pursue women and they laugh at you, humiliating you because you're not their type, which is a code phrase for not being socially, physically, or financially attractive enough to be with them, or you don't pursue women and they ignore you, or if you ignore them, the ones that will eventually charge you are unicorns, but they will charge you more like waddling rhinos. Don't be fooled by the sound of the horn. Giving women attention and trying to get what you want from them at the same time is ineffective because it will make them believe that they are above your standards if you do so. If, on the other hand, you do your own thing and wait for one of them to throw themselves at you, the woman who does so is typically an awful person. It does not happen often that a man will encounter a woman, receive attention from her, feel attracted to her, and discover that she is a good person to be with. It's so uncommon that it's comparable to Venus going in front of the sun. The next time anyone will be able to witness that transit of Venus is going to be in the year 2117. But it is a lot easier to find a better-looking woman when you are younger. This is because younger women have to work really hard to look unattractive, whereas older women don't have to try as hard to look unattractive anymore. It's all down to gravity for the cab. Even if you ignore women, they will still come up to you and violate your personal space as if it were perfectly fine to do so, because I believe that many people think that this is acceptable behavior. They believe that a man, if by some miracle he were attracted to them, would be doing the exact same thing. But to get the right women after you, the ones that you actually want, it takes a lot of patience and hard work to get them interested in you. In order to become a level 1 makeup artist, you must first give the impression that you are a desirable catch, and then you must put yourself in front of the appropriate woman. Therefore, you are going to continue to exert a great deal of effort in order to be noticed. It is to your advantage to disregard them and wait for them to approach you. But for some reason I can't explain, I've noticed that women who talk to men tend to have problems with themselves. You would think that the converse would be true, given that they wouldn't actually possess a great deal of confidence to approach a man, but I guess they figure that they have nothing to lose by taking a chance on something like that. As a result, they frequently pursue relationships with men who are 3, 4, or even many notches higher than them. The majority of blue pill men are driven by the need for female validation, and they feel helpless to stop themselves from giving themselves to a woman who showers them with attention and approval for no reason. The vast majority of guys are taught that in order to receive validation from women, they are required to perform some action for it. They are obligated to provide for and guard their loved ones. But there are times when a woman will do so for no reason other than the fact that you are who you are. It may appear more genuine at first, as if she truly cares about and loves you for some reason. However, in reality, she simply admires the effort you've put into yourself and the hard work she sees in inexperienced guys who fail to recognize that she's giving you attention and validation because of what you can do. The guys without much life experience will be thinking to themselves, I raise their social status and provide resources instead of being the person that you are. Wow, I recently came across a unicorn, but unfortunately, most of the time they are killed by a charging rhinoceros. Once they have tied the knot. One thing that I've learned, and I'd like to pass on to you, is that you should always pay close attention to how a woman behaves and how she positions herself, or else you might get gored. At Devil's Tower in South Dakota, I came dangerously close to being gored by a bull. Someone diverted my attention on the side of the road for a sufficient amount of time by asking for directions, allowing the bull to approach from behind, and came dangerously close to making me a Sansa goal. Getting involved with a modern empowered feminist woman is akin to running with the bulls in Spain. I would have ended up like young Captain Picard and stabbed the Nassau. Engaging with the modern empowered feminist woman is akin to running with the bulls in Spain. If I had to choose between running with the bulls or with the modern, I'd rather take my chances with the bulls. Another reason women pursue men like this is that they feel attracted to men who don't seem to care about them. Is it true that women want a man who will take the lead and not just follow someone else? It does not depend on the meaning of every word. One of the women says that rather than that, he takes charge and does what needs to be done regardless of what the other women are saying. Sure, that comes across as insensitive, and like he doesn't actually listen, but that's what women are attracted to because they want a man with a mind and a will of his own that you can basically spend the next however many years or decades breaking down slowly over time for entertainment. And that entertainment value alone of turning a man into a clown has got to be worth at least tens of thousands of dollars. And like, he doesn't actually listen to anything, but that's what women are attracted to because she wants. It's kind of like going over a road in a car. The greater the number of miles driven on that road, the greater the amount of wear and tear, and eventually there will be potholes. The damage will be complete when the road, or in this case, the man, looks all cratered, like the surface of the moon. And at this point, you should get a divorce from the guy so that you can start paying the toll. In order to facilitate and improve reconstruction of the roadway, she figuratively and literally drives off into the sunset with another guy on a different road, and then begins the process from the beginning once more. As a result of my decision to stop pursuing women, I am now being stalked by various psychopaths. On the other hand, they are most likely contacting 10 or 20 different guys at the same time. To put it simply, we are casting as many lines as we can in the hope of reeling in some kind of prize. I have no idea what it's like in Jamaica, Kev, but based on everything I've heard, I'm going to guess that the men there are still very masculine. This assumption is based on the fact that the body boys are reportedly treated very poorly in Jamaica. Despite this, a few people have mentioned to me that they believe things are beginning to shift in regard to that. One more thing that it's possible you haven't actually noticed. Kev is a woman on Tinder here in Canada, contacting men just to mock and ridicule them these days, or taking advantage of them for free meals and drinks in the last month alone, cruising around Tinder to find women. It seems as if more women are now getting off, showing off their overpriced educations by putting men down with their so-called wise knowledge, which they pretend to be interested in like you at first. These women challenged my intelligence with loaded questions that were designed to make me appear as though I was stupid. You won't have to go after them, which is something you will realize very quickly. The only reason why they are so eager to get in touch with you is so that they can put you in your place and act like they are better than you. When women come up to you first, there is also the risk of this happening. If someone is overly enthusiastic and offers terms that are too good to be true, you have no choice but to treat them as though they are a potentially dangerous animal. When you turn around and you aren't careful, these women that are simultaneously chasing you and trying to put you down or trying to emasculate you are going to take a bite out of your calf muscles. A good number of you. You might have overheard me say in the past that if two guys get into a fight and one of them loses, the testosterone level of the loser drops, and as a result, so does his level of self-confidence. It is almost as if the women who feel the need to emasculate men in the dating pool are doing so in order to reduce our testosterone levels and, as a result, our desire to go out on weekends. What makes us male? Not only do we have to be concerned about men in the world who try to demean us, but we also have to be concerned about female bullies who are attempting to boost their own status and sense of self-worth by bringing down our levels of testosterone and making an attempt to insult our intelligence. It has gotten to the point where I avoid being around people who are in a foul mood and looking to bring others down, regardless of whether or not they are mean. I believe that a lot of omnivore men, as well as MGTOW men, ghost and act passive-aggressive because of how oppressive and controlling both the corporate world and women have truly become. I also think that a lot of men are becoming more passive as a result of the fact that they are constantly being emasculated and are unable to express their male nature in a secure manner. Because there are no longer any places in the real world where men can assert themselves without offending others, I believe that MGTOW is expanding at such a rapid rate in Western countries because of the demand for its services. Why would you even bother approaching women or letting yourself be approached by them if you were going to be socially shunned if you did it? If the only things you've ever known are bad, then it's not surprising. If it becomes too dangerous to either approach women or be approached by them, then the only way for a man to maintain his masculinity is if he is able to express it anonymously online. This is the only way that he will be able to keep his masculinity. Kevin, I just want to warn you that you shouldn't get involved with a woman who chases you if you want to make sure that she isn't doing it for the sake of the financial or emotional picture. The most important reason a guy shouldn't actually chase women is that if you do, then they might just catch you anyway. This could be for any number of reasons, including simply wanting to use you for a free meal at a restaurant. That concludes everything I had to say for today. Once again, many thanks, Kevin, for the contribution as well as the remember to hit that like button as hard as that bull tried to hit my nuts with its horn. The check is in the mail, so I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and cheers.